Looking for a way to get better Wi-Fi at home? In this video, we've taken a look at 3 of the best mesh Wi-Fi systems you can buy in the UK at the moment to help you get better Wi-Fi speeds and signal in your house. Before we begin, make sure to use the links in the description to find the best prices on the products we've looked at on Amazon at the moment. You can use these links to find the best deals, no matter when you're watching this. Let's get started. So before we look at products, let's do a quick overview of how mesh Wi-Fi works, so you know what to look for. With mesh, you get a number of these different Wi-Fi nodes to put around the house. Your main router sends internet signal to these nodes, and then they can broadcast a stronger Wi-Fi network in the area they're located. It's a bit like using Wi-Fi extenders, but more intelligent. You still only have one Wi-Fi network, and your devices on the Wi-Fi hotspot will automatically connect to the node with the best signal. So once it's set up, mesh Wi-Fi is pretty seamless. It just makes your existing Wi-Fi a lot stronger, especially if you have a large house and your Wi-Fi signal is prone to dropping off at the furthest points from the router. So normally, when you buy one of these kits, you replace your existing router. You can just use this kit by itself, and one of the nodes will function as the main router that you plug into your fiber connection or your phone socket. You can sometimes use mesh with an existing router. For example, TP-Link routers have this one mesh system, which makes it easy to get up with TP-Link mesh products, connecting them to this router. So if you buy a compatible one mesh system from TP-Link, you could use the 3 nodes, or however many there are in the box, as well as the original Wi-Fi router. But most of the time, if you just have your ISP's default router, getting a 3-pack of nodes, and then using one of them as your new router is a good choice. So in terms of value for money, the TP-Link Deco AC1900 is a really good choice if you're looking for a mesh Wi-Fi system. It offers 3 nodes for a pretty reasonable price and has a pretty good coverage area for most medium to large size houses. The top speeds are pretty good for most households, but they're not the best on the market. That's why this option isn't the most expensive. If you have a 900 megabit broadband plan, for example, over long distances, when you're on 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi, you'll only get up to 600 megabits per second, or probably 300 to 500 in real world conditions. But this might not be a problem if you don't have a really big house. Since you've got 3 nodes, a lot of the time, you might be on the 5 GHz network if you can keep close to one of these broadcasters, and then you'll have speeds up to 1300 megabits per second. But in saying this, if you're on a really fast plan, like Virgin Media's 2 gigabit, Vodafone's 2.2 gigabit, or Community Fiber's 3 gigabit, you won't be able to get the full speeds with this mesh system. But for most households, this is plenty of speed, and it's more than the maximum most people have. There's also a 3-year warranty from TP-Link, which is better than the 2 years you get with a lot of other providers. You also get 3 gigabit Ethernet ports on each node, giving you plenty of room to plug in computers or games consoles. And these devices are pretty easy to set up as well. Ultimately, as long as your broadband speeds aren't higher than 1000 megabits per second, this mesh system is a good choice for most medium to large size houses. To see the best prices on this kit at the moment, make sure to click the link to amazon.co.uk in the description. If you have a bigger house, or a faster broadband connection, it might be worth paying a bit more for a better mesh setup. This kit from Linksys is twice as expensive at the moment as the last one we looked at, but it comes with a lot of extra value. For starters, you get Wi-Fi 6E rather than just Wi-Fi 6, meaning that each node can offer better Wi-Fi speeds and signal, and as a result, it can cover up to 9,000 square feet. But it also means that the top speeds are a lot faster. Even if you're on really fast broadband, like Community Fiber's 3 gigabit plan, you'll be able to access the full speeds over Wi-Fi, assuming your devices can handle them, using this mesh system. There's even a Wi-Fi 7 option, giving you even better coverage, but this is overkill in a lot of situations. Even for 4 or potentially even 5 bedroom houses with a lot of floor space, this kit is a good choice. You also get a 3-year warranty from Linksys, but it would be good to see faster speeds on their Ethernet ports. There's only 2 per node, and they only support gigabit speeds at the moment. That's the main downside to this kit really. If you often use an Ethernet connection, you'll be limited to gigabit speeds. This might not be a problem if you don't have extremely fast broadband, but it means that these kits offer faster speeds over Wi-Fi than they do over a wired connection, assuming your connection can offer speeds more than a gigabit per second. Getting set up with Linksys is a bit more difficult than TP-Link, but generally it's still pretty easy. So if you want to improve Wi-Fi performance, especially in a larger house, this kit is definitely worth looking at. In some cases, you might have quite bad Wi-Fi, even if you're in a pretty small flat, or a 2 or 3 bedroom house. This can be due to a few different factors. There could be brick internal walls blocking your signal, or the router you get from your provider might not be very good. In this case, investing in even just a pack of 2 mesh Wi-Fi nodes can be worth it, and it won't be quite as expensive as getting a pack of 3. The downside to this kit unlike the Linksys we just looked at, is it doesn't come with Wi-Fi 6 or Wi-Fi 6E. These are the latest Wi-Fi standards, and they offer better speeds and signal. This is why this kit is a better choice for small households, where you might not need Wi-Fi 6 to get full speeds over Wi-Fi. These nodes are a bit smaller than the ones we looked at in the first product, so they only come with 2 gigabit Ethernet ports each. But for a flat or small house, this probably isn't an issue, unless you have multiple games consoles or computers you want to plug into the router. So this diagram gives a pretty typical use case of how we'd expect to use this kit. It just bridges the distance between 2 levels, or if you're in a bungalow, it can be a good choice to put one at each end of the house. It doesn't cover 3,800 square feet though, it's actually 2,800 or 260 square meters. And if you're not sure if 2 is enough, you can always buy extra ones of these nodes if you ever need to upgrade your mesh signal. Just note the top speeds over Wi-Fi aren't amazing with these nodes, at less than 900 megabits per second on 5 GHz. Ultimately, this kit is good for giving you a bit of an upgrade in a flat or a small house. But if you have a bigger house, or you're paying for broadband speeds of more than 500 megabits per second, it's probably better to go with one of the other 2 kits we've looked at earlier in this video. Just because a lot of the time, over Wi-Fi, you'll probably be at about 500 or 600 megabits per second maximum, unless you're right by a node, or probably 100 to 200 megabits if you're a long way away from the nearest unit. Remember, use the links in the description to find the best prices on these Wi-Fi nodes when you're watching this video. And if you have any questions about mesh Wi-Fi or which unit to buy, leave a comment below and we'll help out.